Whew. What's going on, guys? Am I holding my freaking notes for James Woods? Well, I guess you guys know I'm now holding my notes for James Woods. So, since you guys already know, I can just read it off of here. James Woods is from Utah. He was born April 18th, 1947, and he's 69 years old. Yeah, anyway, my James Woods movie collection. These are all the movies that I have of James Woods in my movie collection, starting from the earliest to the latest. That's how I do things. Is the camera straight? Okay. So, from the earliest movie that James Woods was ever in was The Gambler, and this movie is from 1974. So this is like a really early one from James Woods. Great movie there. And then the next movie I have was in 1979, like 5 years later. And it's The Onion Field. I remember I just got this movie. This is the original one that's out of print and goes for like 20 to 30 bucks on eBay and sells for about like 25 used to 30 bucks in the package at Amoeba and Rasputin, because it is out of print. In fact, I paid $19.99 for this, but it was out of print, so that was a pretty good deal. It's in the wrapper and everything. This is the copy that's out of print. And then we have the newer copy that got released from KL Studio Classics. They put out a lot of Burt Lancaster movies too. Old school Western movies, classic movies. This new Kino Lorber Productions put this out. But yeah, it's got some special features on here. Has the original trailer and everything like that. I watched half of this last night actually, and it's pretty good. It's these robbers, James Woods and another robber, get pulled over by I forgot the name. What's the guy's name? The guy in 3 Men and a Baby. Ted. Oh man, Ted Danson, right? I'm really being slow right now. I think it's Ted Danson. Yeah, Ted Danson. He's in Loch Ness Monster and 3 Men and a Little Baby and crap like that. The Onion Field, great movie. Like I said, the cops pull him over, and then James Woods shoots Ted Danson in the face in the beginning of the movie, and I think it might be based on a true story, but it's basically a whole court movie about that, everything like that. And then after that, in 1985, he was in this movie called Cat's Eye, Stephen King's Cat's Eye with Drew Barrymore. I got the old school snapback version of that. Great movie. Great Stephen King movie. And then also in 1985, he was in Salvador, a movie about El Salvador. Good action drama. Jim Belushi's in this one too. Bestseller. This one came out 2 years later in 1987. Pretty good movie. I don't remember much about that, but whatever. And James Woods isn't like an actor that I seek after. He isn't like one of my favorite actors, but he does have a lot of movies that I have in my collection, so that's why I'm doing this one. True Believer. This one came out in 1989, 2 years after that. The Killing, The Conviction, The Cover-Up. He's always doing these crime-like cop movies, James Woods. And he plays I think James Woods plays a better creepy, like, bad guy role than a good guy role. Then he was in The Hard Way with Michael J. Fox in 1991. Great, funny cop movie there. Then he was in Digstown, which is out of print, worth a little bit of money. And it's, yeah, that's right. And I love the out of print MGM ones because they always have like the booklet that came out when the movie came out. Pretty cool. Yeah, but this is like a boxing movie right there. And this was in 92. And then this movie I couldn't find on DVD. It's with Kathy Bates and Randy Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. And I think this was in 93. But I couldn't find this on DVD. It might be out of print too. Curse of the Starving Class. And a rare movie. This movie you can't even find on DVD. I've never seen this on DVD. And it's got the guy from Seinfeld, Jason Alexander. And it's a movie called For Better or Worse. with James Woods and Jason Alexander. And he also does a voice on Family Guy. I think he does a voice on Family Guy. They're always making fun of him. And then he was in The Killer, which is one of my favorite James Woods movies. I loved this when I was a kid. It's about a guy who spent his whole life in jail, and they give him, like, he goes to a prison that gives him a little bit of freedom. He gets to leave and go to the library, where he ends up, like, you know, because he's been incarcerated most of his life, ends up, like, beating a woman and raping her. It's really kind of weird movie, but it's a great portrayal of a convict in prison his whole life and what that does to your head and everything. And then I got the VHS old school blockbuster case right here. I remember buying that when I was a kid. One of the first movies I bought was that Killer one on VHS. He was in Casino in '96 with Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. He was in Contact in '97. Great movie there with Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey, which goes right here. He was in Vampires. This one came out in 1998. Pretty good movie. And this is the Super Bit movie collection right there. That goes in the horror section. Another Day in Paradise. I forgot about this movie, but whatever. Another Day in Paradise. This one came out in '98 too. Then he was in True Crime with Alicia Silverstone and Matt Dillon's brother, I guess. Kevin Dillon. I don't think he did that many good movies. And this is kind of a rare movie. Kind of out of print. And let's see. In 2000, he was in The Virgin Suicides with Kirsten Dunst, Girl and Spider-Man. He was in Any Given Sunday. This one came out in, this is a long movie, 156 minutes. 1999. He was in John Q. Remember, he's, him and Ellen DeGeneres' wife, the girl in 6 Days and 7 Nights, they're the ones that don't want to approve, they don't want to loan him the money for his kid to get a new heart transplant. If you guys remember that, James Woods and Ellen DeGeneres' wife, they play the, like, mean people that work in the hospital, and I think James Woods, it's his hospital, and he doesn't want to help, you know, because Denzel doesn't have the money for the insurance to get the kid's heart transplant to save his life. He kind of plays an a-hole in that one. And the funniest movie that James Woods is in, I rewound this part in this movie so many times, is Scary Movie 2. He plays the priest that's stuck on the toilet with diarrhea in the beginning of the movie, where he's just, it's almost as good as, like, the Dumb and Dumber bathroom scene. But James Woods is on the toilet just farting, like, for a minute, diarrhea everywhere and crap. Yeah, crap, exactly. And then the latest movie that I have with James Woods is Officer Down with Stephen Dorff, which is a pretty good movie, action movie. This one came out, Anchor Bay put this one out. Dang, it doesn't say the year. 2012. That's James Woods.